would like to encourage you is please to ask questions when there are things I talk about or ideas on the slide that you're not sure of. I'm hoping to have this presentation today be a little more interactive, if possible. There's nothing worse than having to spend a day at work and sit down and listen to a talking head for an hour or 45 minutes. So please feel free at any time to ask some questions. So adding to a couple things that Andrea mentioned about my background is I think I'm in a kind of somewhat unique environment working and teaching, in that I have three kinds of different areas I work in, three different hats. A lot of my teaching is in content-based English for academic purposes. And later on in my presentation, I will show you an example or a context where I've tried to work through some of the theoretical ideas that we'll be talking about. So I do a lot of teaching in credit courses, and these are relatively unique in Canada, where students are actually getting undergraduate credit for doing content-based, the combination of language instruction and content. And in a sense, that is one of the issues that comes up, and is it Linares? Linares is how I pronounce it. Spanish speakers, is it Linares or Linares? Linares and Roy Lister's article about the challenges and the different kinds of perspectives of corrective feedback in content language learning environments. So I do a lot of teaching that. That's one area I do most of my work. Another area that I'm very happy to be working in is language teacher education. And a lot of my latest research has been involved in a program called the Certificate in the Discipline of Teaching English as an International Language. We usually have about 20 students in the program. It's very small, it's an undergraduate program. And every 2 years, we take students on a practicum to the Verona Pedagogical University in Havana for 3 weeks, which is a very, very interesting experience. And a lot of the program is working towards students doing practicum work in preparation for that. I teach a course in that program called English as a World Language. So it looks at a lot of the issues and the complexities of Englishes in the world, the challenges of teaching it, a lot of the issues, the politics of the native speaker as any kind of norm for putting together curriculum. So that's another area that I'm really happy to work in. So I've got the EAP, teacher ed, and then the final area that I work in is the graduate program in linguistics and applied linguistics. And in that area, I teach courses in language and identity, and I teach courses in, lately, English for specific purposes. So I was very interested in reading these articles and thinking about that in relation to these programs. So for me, the interesting thing is being able to see these three domains interacting, thinking about the challenges of applying the theory in an undergraduate context, thinking about how, to what extent the theory might be relevant or not for those contexts, and then working with teachers who themselves aspire to go into similar kinds of programs or programs overseas. So it's a very interesting kind of mix of different perspectives that I work in. And out of that perspective is kind of how I've approached the whole area of critical theory. It's always been, to me, thinking about to what extent does critical theory and critical work make itself relevant and perhaps applicable in these different domains. So that's been kind of my work.